Hello once again, welcome to Monaco and the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT. Kicking off our coverage of day 4 of the main event from the Monte Carlo Bay Hotel and Resort on the French Riviera. 30 players remain, spread across 4 tables, and today is the day when we play down to the final table. Looks like it's going to be 6 levels of action. That means another 12-hour day. Plenty of poker to enjoy with me, James Hartigan, and him, Joe Stapleton.
Hello, my babies. You know what Phil Hellmuth says when he's in Monte Carlo? I can dodge taxes, baby.
If we look at the top 10, Joe, we will see that it's Tim Adams just ahead of Nicolas Chouity, with Malika Razavi not that far behind them.
Very interesting character. Love to see new people on the scene, and obviously anytime it's a woman, that's fantastic because they make up such a small section of the field. Would love to see, there's at least 2 ladies left, right?
I think there's at least 3.
Excellent. Would love to see 1 or more of them make the final table today.
2 of those ladies are at our feature table. We've got 3 players, by the way, with more than 100 big blinds each, with the blinds going to 10-20 with a 20K ante. One of those ladies is an online qualifier, Evie Widvey from Norway. Never played an EPT main event before, and here she is with a 24 big blind stack coming in to day 4. Widvey and Elisa Sibgatova are in the blinds. Ambrose Travers first to speak.
Should have known Elisa was a girl's name, but sometimes, you know, Sasha can throw you off.
So the Irish qualifier has raised in first position. Pocket 9's under the gun, makes it 45K. Pocket 10s for Vlado Banicevic.
Wow, what a crazy start. I like this guy's name, Vlado.
Making his first appearance at the feature table. And he announces all in.
Understandable given his stack size.
Shoving for his last 350,000. And jacks for Evie Widvey.
Well, Evie should tread lightly because, you know, Elisa could have queens. This is a...
She reshoves.
Her stress and hesitance, I find it to be really charming.
So the big blind is folded. Now the action's back on Ambrose Travers, the original raiser. And what do you do here with 9s?
You fold them. You fold. Look how stressed out Evie Widvey is. You don't think she's going to be in there super light.
I had 9s.
I
have nothing.
Nor me.
So Vlado is the at-risk player, and he is the player who's dominated here.
You know the 9s calling it.
He's a 4-to-1 dog with 5 cards to come.
Wow.
And the flop is Queen Jack 6. It is not looking good for Vlado Banicevic. Does have backdoor draws. Has 7% equity.
Oh boy.
There is one of the backdoors. Spade on the turn. Picks up 7 outs.
Well, she was stressed before. She's going to be real stressed now.
No spade on the river. It's always coming 7. And again, she breathes a sigh of relief. She gets the near double up, and Vlado is eliminated. The first KO of the day, out in 30th place, cashing for 19,990 euros.
Vlado.
So she now has a 46 big blind stack, close to $1 million, 3rd in chips at the feature table. Second hand of the day. Bruno Volkmann, 2nd in chips at the table. From Brazil, 1.2 million chips, he folds. Chouity folds, so the action is now on Sam Greenwood, who we also haven't seen so far in this event. Certainly not the feature table. On the super high roller here in Monte Carlo last year. Round to Evie on the buttons. She's got aces.
Okay. less stressful.
Free race, 45,000.
Raises to 45,000. And Ambrose Travers is in the big blind with King 10.
Feels like
Oh!
wow.
Oh, slow down, sir. All in and a call. And it's qualifier against qualifier carnage. And once again, it's Domination Nation. And the nation is Norway.
I mean, this is worse than Domination Nation.
There.
Still stressed. Travers way likely to be drawing dead on the flop now.
This time no sweat.
2% equity.
Queen. Yeah. I should have gone like Queen Jack.
This is her first EPT? No, it's not, right?
It's certainly the biggest event she's ever played, and her deep run will continue as she eliminates Ambrose Travers, the Irish qualifier, cashes out in 28th place. We just had another elimination on one of the other tables, so that means we're going to be down to 27 players now.
How many people did we start?
Not just big pocket pairs, but sets both times, too. Incredible.
2 hands, 2 KOs, and here is hand number 3 of the penultimate day of the EPT Monte Carlo main event.
Have you ever started a day of a tournament with a 100% knockout rate?
No.
I mean, I've knocked myself out, so I mean, that, yes.
Chouity opens under the gun with pocket 4s. Sam Greenwood's folded.
It's only 20k more. Oh,
There is.
yeah, 40. Yeah.
So raise to 40,000, just verifying the size of the raise. It's been folded to Evie.
Yeah, you might want to, you know, just limp in so you see what Evie's got.
Jacks again.
Come on. This is ridiculous.
Oh my God, and there's an all-in with Queen Jack from Elisa.
Oh my goodness, what is happening?
Jacks on the first hand, knocks out a guy with 10s. Aces on the second hand, knocks out a guy with King 10. Jacks on the third hand, and is definitely calling this shove should Chouity not get involved.
I don't see how he can.
He folds. She calls. And here we go again.
She is more surprised than we are. Sorry, Elisa, 1 overcard.
I can beat that.
What did you have?
Small pair.
Elisa wants to see if a queen's been folded.
Very blinds. Oh my God.
Plus EV Widvey.
This is the most ridiculous start to a day we've ever had. And I'm loving it.
Will a big hand hold 3 hands in a row, though? That
Good point.
never happens.
Good point, well made. Well, that's an up and down straight draw for Sibgatova. 8s, queens, and kings all working for her.
So many outs.
Blank on the turn. 3-1 dog needs to hit on the river to survive.
Oh, she is not loving it.
Blank on the river. 3 KOs in a row.
Oh, man.
Elisa Sibgatova eliminated in 27th place, taking us down to 26.
There's no sweat going, right?
Could you imagine a better start? No.
This is an all-time great moment. This is crazy. Evie is up to nearly 100 big blinds.
Yeah, maybe I'm just dreaming. This isn't real, right?
Started the day with fewer than 25 bigs, now has a stack of nearly 1.9 million, 95 big blinds. Well, we can't keep up this momentum all day, can we?
Don't jinx it.
I talk about it being a long day and playing 6 levels. We've had 4 eliminations in the first 10 minutes.
3 in a row.
3 of them at the hands of 1 person.
Like KO tournament.
Yeah.
And And this looks like an all-in. Remy Castagnon against Christoph Vogelsang. Ace-king against 8.
Ace-king good.
And that is going to be a double-up for Christoph Vogelsang. Ace-king cracks 8. And Vogelsang will be up to nearly $1 million. And Remy Castagnon in the danger zone.
Danger zone!
By our calculations, he's going to be left with 150K.
That is extreme danger zone. That's Ryan Riess style danger zone. I was going to say, whenever Evie looks incredibly uncomfortable, that means she's got a hand ace-queen suited. I wouldn't play a hand against her either. Sam Greenwood dominated. Oh, someone on the table must have fired up the stream. Hey, hello. Hello there 30 minutes later. Hi. Oh boy, that's not good. Sam pairs his live card. Pair of fives way out in front now. 1 club. And we know that Evie's a pretty consistent C-better from what we've seen so far.
Yeah. Fires 50,000 into 110,000.
Double barrel might get it done this time, unlike the last time when she was up against Trips.
Greenwood calls with bottom pair. Turn card is a queen.
A double barrel will not get it done this time.
So she improves, in inverted commas, to second pair top kicker, but Greenwood has turned 2 pair. She wisely checks it back. Well, if Greenwood bets the river, he might get paid off here.
I think he is very likely to bet the river. Chunky bet.
Yeah, I mean, last time he bombed it. Bet full pot. 160K into 210K. You can easily see this getting paid.
He looks like it's going to.
Yeah. 2 pair is good.
Yeah, you show him that queen. You show him how he sucked out.
Well, she's still playing a 70 big blind stack. Sam Greenwood up over 40 big blinds with 40 minutes left to play on this level. And we're going back to the outer tables. It's Vogelsang versus Castagnon round 2.
Oh.
Remy all in and at risk with ace 10. Vogelsang with pocket 8s. Another race. Vogelsang won the last one. And 8s are holding. It's a great flop for 8s. And Remy Castagnon does not improve. He is eliminated in 26th place. We lose one of our former champions. The winner of EPT Deauville in 2013 departs, cashing for just over 23K. Queen 10 for Evie Widvey. Lets it go, forwarded to the blinds. Ryan Riess informs Nicolas Chouity of his stack size.
First one's enough.
And we have a call, an all-in, and a call. Chouity with 10-9 suited.
Ryan with ace-3 or 3-3?
I think it's king-3.
How did you know that?
Because I could see it when they're positioning
I'm sorry.
on the table.
I was just guessing.
It was either a king or a queen from that particular angle, but
Yeah. Well, I bet he's wishing it was a queen.
well, king high's still good. Just has to fade a 9 or a 10. Same outs for Chouity. 3 9s, 1 10 he can hit to eliminate Ryan Riess. But Ryan is going to double up and survive.
There he is.
He already paid.
Oh, that's what he put?
That's what he put, yeah.
Alright. Six raises, 40,000? 7.
Volkman opens under the gun with pocket 10s. Ace-king for Ryan Riess. who
Here we go.
remains the table short stack.
Which was all in. 10 plus. 1 plus. 3 plus.
Action back on Volkman, who calls, and we are off to the races. So Ryan Riess has doubled up a couple of times already, had that chop pot against Evie. It's been running pretty good and all in so far.
Like Chewbacca versus Harry of the Hendersons. One of these two hands has a slight mathematical advantage.
And that will be the ace-king of Ryan Riess. Spikes an ace to become a 9-1 favorite. Just has to fade a 10 on the river. Ryan Riess doubles up again. He's down to 6 big blinds at one point, now up to nearly 30 bigs, and is no longer the low man at the table. Nikolai Vaskoboynikov is the short stack with 25 big blinds.
And redraw.
So Ryan Riess survives, but the same cannot be said for one of the former champions in the field, Paul Michaelis. He's just been eliminated by Manik Lerza, got it in with ace-king against jack-3, and the flop was jack-jack-7 with the jack on the turn. Hashtag death by quads as we lose the Prague 2018 champion, meaning that Nicolas Chouity is the last remaining former EPT winner, our last two-time hope. So I can tell you that the two players from that table who'll be coming to the main stage are Manik Lerza, who eliminated Paul Michaelis, and Govert Matal.
We'd seen so little of Manik Lerzer in this tournament that when I saw him in the background, I thought he was in another event.
Govert Matal always looks the part.
That's all the high rollers, all the 25 first.
All right, so final 3 tables, here we go.
Yes. There'll be a redraw when we get to the final 2 tables, down to 16. Another redraw when we get down to 9. Playing to the final table today on the penultimate day of the EPT Monte Carlo main event. Under the gun raise. Under the gun fold, rather, from Govert Matal. Action on Nicolas Chouity with pocket 6s. Chouity will raise with 6s from under the gun plus 2. Makes it 40K.
Everybody min raising like you're a bunch of idiots.
Round to Manik Lerza in the big blind with 7-5 off.
Mark my words, the min raise, it'll cycle back around. This min raise thing is temporary. You always play against the big blind 100% of the time.
Queen for Trey. So Lerza with a gut shot. Chouity still with the best hand. Action's been checked to him. And the 2010 Monte Carlo champ will continue.
3. Oh, 2 million.
60K into 110K.
Sorry. He just can't see. It's all good.
I was going to.
Yeah. I almost said something earlier.
2010. Back in 2010, I was in my mid-30s.
Well, we can see that Chouity's got 2 cards that block Lurza's gut shot.
I know.
He does not know that. He check calls for 60K. And it's a 6
What?
on the turn.
How?
It's a set for Chouity, but it's the straight for Lurza.
My goodness.
And suddenly, Manig Lurza becomes a 3-1 favorite.
Boy, it did not take long for there to be a disgusting train wreck at this table.
Action check to the aggressor. And with his set of 6s, Chouity will fire again.
The 2 biggest stacks at this table, 2 of the biggest stacks in the tournament.
And it'll be interesting to see how Manig Lurza responds to this bet. A smooth call or a check raise. 130K is the bet.
What do I like here? Let's think about a check raise. I think a check raise can look bluffy enough here. I think there's 2 flush draws out there now. I think there's, even though the 6 did make a straight, it only made the 5-7 straight, right? 2-5 also made a straight. So there's a couple of straights it made, but it did put a lot more straight draws out there. So I think that you can rep enough draws with a raise here. And I also think you can smooth call. I really don't know what's best. I am confident that Manig Lurza, wizard German that he is, will make whatever the right decision is here, and then I will pretend as if I know why that is the right decision, and it looks like that decision is raise and raise big.
It's a tower of green. Those chips worth 25K each. So it's a check raise to 600,000. He's making it chunky.
It is more than 4x.
What does Chouity do now?
Well, I'm wondering what sorts of hands Lurza thinks Chouity's going to have here. Like Chouity, we know he's got a set of 6s, so he's got a hand that he'll put more chips in with, but I think sometimes Chouity's going to have a hand he can just fold to a raise that size.
He's played a time bank card.
What I'm really curious to know right now, is he happy about this raise, or is he a little stressed out knowing that 2 straights just got there?
There's also 2 flush draws out there, though.
He's got to be happy, right? He's got to be.
And if it's not a diamond or a spade on the river, Chouity could lose a lot more.
Could also be a queen, a 3, or a 4 on the river. He could lose none.
Well, instead it's the jack of diamonds, and I think that card might just save him. 1.43 million in the middle. Chouity has roughly pot behind.
Does Lurza himself have to worry about the diamonds?
Additional thinking time.
Right.
670.
670.
That's 670,000.
So we know Chouity's never raising. Can eliminate that from the equation.
But can he get away from it?
And Lurza knows when Chouity acts this pained, he wants a call. It's never a flush. There's it is.
The call, and this is a huge pot. And we will have a new chip leader in the EPT Monte Carlo main event.
Massive.
Nicolas Chouity's set of sixes, beaten by Manig Lerza's straight. And Lerza now has a stack of 3.6 million, more than 180 big blinds.
Really, really disgusting turn card for Nick Chouity.
And so far, day 4 has not been a good day for the former champions. 2 of them have been eliminated. The other has taken a huge dent and is down to 40 bigs. Well, let's take a look at some of the other players in the field at the other 2 tables in the Monte Carlo main event. That is Rustam Hajayev.
I wonder if he's related to the other Hajayev.
I believe he is. Viktor Malinovsky, aka Limitless. Tim Adams is still a top 3 stack. He's up to 2.9 million today. Jordan Verbraken, a Belgian player with 246k in live earnings. There's Aladdin Rascala and his lucky lamp. He eliminated Fatima Maria de Melo yesterday. Connor Beresford qualified for this event online. He is an online giant.
Evie back in action.
She has 3-bet Nicolas Chouity, who opened under the gun with ace-7.
Who is visibly frustrated from that last hand. This isn't helping.
He is dominated by her ace-king. But he's going to call, play the flop out of position without the betting lead. Well, it's king high with 2 clubs.
Wow.
Top for Evie. Nut flush draw for Nicolas Chouity.
And given his state of mind right now, we are definitely going to see some more chips go into the middle.
He checks. She continues. 110k into 260k.
Check those clubs.
Just a call from Chouity. Turn card is a club. And Chouity now has a lock on the hand.
Lock on the hand, and Evie's very likely to think that if she's
Yeah, you don't play.
not ahead still, she would think she's likely to have outs.
He won a lot of money with you in this tournament, so.
And then he don't won anymore? Not lost?
Does check back.
Yep. $480k in the middle. Chouity with 585k behind. Oh, she's got the king of clubs blocker as well. Very hard to fold this. And Chouity goes for value.
And that's 260,000.
260k. Well, this is going to be a nice boost to his stack. Get some back after losing that huge pot to Manig Lerza.
Yeah, either way, he wins this hand. Even if Widvey can find a very difficult fold.
I don't think she can. I can't find a call. I can't find a fold here.
Call.
Yeah, she makes the call.
Yeah, that face says it all.
The disgusted, oh God, you got 2 clubs.
60.
So yeah, Chouity back above the million mark. Evie drops down to 845k. Still playing more than 40 bigs. Chouity back up to 64 bigs.
Chouity, King Jack.
Chouity's recovered pretty nicely after that monster pot with the set against the straight, back up to 1.5 million.
Yeah, he really has.
10 fold. 1 fold.
Evie Widvey knocked out 3 players in the first 3 hands of the day today.
No, I missed the first like 10, 15 minutes of the broadcast.
You missed
and then I came in.
everything.
Yeah.
No coolers. No coolers. I can't promise.
And it's Lurzer Chouity once again. It's a very similar situation to this one, where Lurzer managed to catch a straight on the turn, which made a set for Chouity, resulting in a major loss for Nick Chouity. Seems like less of a cooler here. Chouity so far out in front with King High, a 9 on the turn. Gives Chouity an up and down draw to go with King High.
I think we'll see a bet here from the Queen 4. It's a turn you want to be betting a lot as the big blind, and when he has the overcard and a good shot to the straight, I'd expect to see him bluff here most of the time, and probably bluff twice as well. Obviously, we're going to see Chouity continue here with 2 overcards and an open-end straight draw, like you mentioned.
7 4.
And look at that. A showdownable hand now for Lurzer. A whole pair.
It'll be interesting to see whether he actually does want to show down, or he still feels like he needs to bluff to make hands like maybe ace-6 suited, ace-9 fold. With the diamond in his hand, I think if this was like the 3 of diamonds or the 2 of diamonds, we'd 100% see him bluff, but it'll be very interesting to see whether he thinks he's a river enough showdown, and it looks like he's going to try and show it down.
I think that what you said there is the key, Finton. I think that, you know, you can maybe get a 6 to fold, but I guess it's really up to, do you think you can get a 9 to fold?
Chouity is not going to arrive with a worse hand at the river, so I think he probably needs the bluff here.
5.
145.
7 bet. 145.
It's an interesting size, and when he bets 145, I think it's a little bit too big for him to have the weakest 2 pairs. Maybe he could still value bet 10-9 like this. Not 100% sure. I'd be very impressed if Queen 4 managed to make a call here. I think you probably need to fold, but if he thinks something's up, he might make that call.
10.
Looks like he's going to do something. He's certainly not folding.
And he's not just snapping off a bluff.
7 fold.
Maybe cooler.
Show 1.
425.
Sure.
Shows the Queen of Diamonds. Can have the Queen Jack. Can have the flushes. Great card to show.
Outer table action. Timothy Adams and Massimo Maselli. Ace-Jack versus Ace-King. Maselli, the player at risk, but it looks like he has hit his Jack. Domination, rotation. Double up, Massimo. Tim Adams can pay that off pretty easily. Just in time, back here at the feature table to catch Another raise from Nick Chouity. Evie Widvey. First time in a while, a real decision on her hands. Now, this is a pretty standard defend for most folks. This is another situation where I'm always relatively unsure how to play it. Your ace is either way good or way bad.
Got a pretty good price, though.
Oh, this is bad.
Oh, no.
This is bad. Ace, 8, 5, 2 pair for each player. And we've actually seen this happen to Widvey multiple occasions since her Barnstorm first 3 hands, where she's made some very costly second best hands.
It's very interesting that Chouity decides to check this board. And Widvey checks the turn. Wow. I'm not sure why both players are slow playing this hand as much as they are. Both pretty vulnerable value hands right now.
I think that she's a little snake bit given the last couple of showdowns she's had, situations where she pretty much had to call rivers, and both times she was no good. Both times on dicey looking boards like this.
The fact that Chouity didn't bet the flop might save her.
I'm not saying it's optimal, but I do understand just playing hands like this cautiously. Chouity bets, Widvey calls. The river is a queen. Widvey checks. Chouity in a very standard value bet spot.
Does Widvey ever get away from it now? I don't think so. I mean, your hand's just too strong. I think you just have to call again.
What's more likely, getting away from it or overvaluing your hand, jamming and getting a fold?
I don't think we'll see a raise. I think it'd be very unlikely. That board is pretty scary looking. I just don't think you ever get to fold for this size, though.
I'll tell you what, if I were in her shoes, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I would have lost a lot more on this hand.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have bet the turn huge, probably, and then just bet river as well. So she's going to get the bad news when she calls, but I just feel sorry for her because, like you said, there's been so many situations where she just has the second best hand.
I mean, she is paying for all that early run good with some very frustrating runouts. She is now the shortest stack at the table, just 18 big blinds. Chouity still second in chips at the table, 56 big blinds for him. Yeah, despite the fact that she tripled up in the first 3 hands and had 1.4 million. 1.6 million, I think she had actually. She's now minus 10,000 from the start of the day. Poker is so cruel. So cruel. Govert Metal, ace 10 under the gun. It's finally going to get to play a hand. He starts with 21 big blinds. Is there an argument to fold this under the gun with 21 big blinds? It looks like there was. Wow.
I don't hate it. I think it's reasonable. I do think, given how few hands that he's played in the last couple of levels, he probably could have used that one as a hand to raise fold, just because people would have respected it a lot, I think.
Oscar Buenakov folds his button. Blind on blind. Short stack versus big stack. Ace 6 for Widvey.
We're playing big blind 30k. I think Widvey's probably going to be all in here. Tournament life on the line into the chip leader is not an easy thing to do, but you got to pull the trigger.
There it goes. I mean, against 2 random cards, she's a favorite.
And we're going to see a call. Widvey, having had that monster stack like you mentioned, is almost certainly going to be all in at a risk here with 24 left.
Yeah, there's
Don't
just...
see how Loiser ever folds.
Loiser wanted to count, but we already know what it is, and we know that it is well within his acceptable call-off with King-Queen. I think against most other players, he's probably calling already. He probably gives Evie a little bit tighter of a range, given her experience level.
I do think that even if you're against a tight opponent, even at this stage in EPT, you've got over 4 million in chips, you've got King Queen. Your opponent can be shoving worse hands very happily, so
This
you
is
see the call on their backs.
not a worse hand, a slightly better hand, a slight favorite. For the fan favorite, Evie Widvey. Plus EV, we're calling her. Can her ace high hold? The flop. Queen, Jack, 7. Down to 2 outs. We know that Govert folded an ace. We get a heart on the turn, no heart, so just 2 outs for plus EV. 1 card to come for her tournament life. It's a jack. What a run. What a start to the day. One of the more memorable starts to an EPT day that I have ever seen. But the poker gods giveth and the poker gods taketh away. Evie Widvey out of here in 24th place. Hell of a run. She's even got the approval of Sam Greenwood.
You need to call with confidence. When you call with confidence, you win.
One is on.
That's the important.
Ryan Riess about to get the dream spot here. Is Ace King all in against the Ace Queen. Both stacks very close.
Domination Nation. Reset for another near double up. It's Vaska Boynikov's tournament life who's on the line. If somehow Ace King gets cracked, Riess will be left with just 2 big blinds. A little more is correct. It's not even really 2 big blinds. It's just slightly more than 1. 6, 7, 8. Ace King way out in front. 8% chance of chopping right now. Turn card is an ace. No more chop opportunities. Vaska Boynikov.
Stand-up equity.
No, I don't.
Down to 3 outs. 3 queens in the deck. No queen on the river.
700.
Vaska Boynikov eliminated. So 2 eliminations and back-to-back hands. When it rains, it pours, I guess, so far today. 3 eliminations on this table and 1 in the field to start the day. And now back-to-back eliminations to take us from 24 down to 22. And Ryan Riess has made that pay jump he's been sweating so hard. Now he doesn't have to worry about it very much at all. He's back up to 55 big blinds, 1.4 million in chips.
Busted 5.
Other guys.
More, I think. 5 or 6.
Outer table action. Aladdin Rascala versus Timothy Adams. I saw a time bank card go in. Oh, there's the bet. It looked like it was part of Tim's stack. That's just 2 gigantic stacks of green out there. Adams has put Rascala all in. And Rascala calls the queens, and they're good. Looks like it was a bluff from Adams. Riscala now up to 2 million in chips. Adams down to 1 million. Ain't never had a friend like me. Is this a walk-off? James Romero out of here. Down to 20 players.
Here is our new featured table. We'll stick with these guys until the redraw when we get to 16. We're bringing Aladdin Reskala and Tim Adams back to the main stage, along with Limitless, Victor Malinovsky, Luis Medina, Christoph Vogelsang, Connor Beresford, and Massimo Museli. We can see that Reskala is the biggest stack, Museli is the shortest stack. Blinds are going to 15,000, 30,000 with a 30K big blind ante. Aladdin Reskala has the table chip lead, a stack of more than 2 million, close to 70 big blinds, and he has jacks in the cutoff.
65.
4 raise, 65,000.
I wonder if he could use one of those wishes to make Will Smith go away.
You have 655 including.
Will Smith, Guy Ritchie, anyone associated with that movie,
It's
please?
a Guy Ritchie movie?
Yeah.
Weird.
I had the water there. There is gone. You know, I cannot. No, but.
See, they always miss a trick. If Guy Ritchie is directing that movie, Jason Statham should be the genie.
Here, I'm going to grant you 3 wishes.
7-4.
Look at all these hands. Jacks, Queen Jack, King Jack. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all 4 jacks are out.
Connor might be somewhat tempted to pull the trigger all in here.
Checking out that tournament clock. Not another pay jump for a while.
8 all in.
Well, he has decided to shove,
Please.
and Reskala has asked for a count.
Yeah, 650.
We know that he's 100% going to be calling here with the jacks, and Connor is going to need a king to stay alive or some straight.
All in.
Well, it's the reshove to isolate. Quick fold from Tim Adams, and here we go. Connor Beresford, his first hand at the feature table, and he is all in and behind.
I mean, if he hits a king, though, he's can't lose. I say that. It's going to be like a 3-dollar king flop.
Just hedge, always hedge. Here
Not-
comes the flop. No king.
No backdoor straight draws either. Connor's going to need to find that king or some running outs for his chop, maybe.
Okay, well, opportunities have emerged. A king or a 5 saves Connor Beresford. It's a king!
Wow.
He gets the double up.
Look at that cheeky smile.
Yeah. Half elation, half embarrassment.
Connor Beresford now playing 1.4 million. Just over 45 big blinds. Aladdin Reskala drops below the 50 big blind mark. In fact, he and Beresford are pretty much tied on the leaderboard. Victor Malinovsky becomes the table chip leader with 1.6 million.
Sometimes you can rub the lamp a little too hard.
Oh,
Connor Beresford, first to act, Queen, Jack of Hearts, and
5,000.
that's a raise,
10-4.
65,000.
I think against a lot of players, Christoph would probably auto fold here, given that they're now playing six-handed, and Connor with the chip lead, going to be one of the most aggressive players on the table. He might want to pull the trigger. It still feels like a little bit too much for me, but these players have played against each other a lot in the past. Looks like we're just going to call.
Vogelsang flatting from the cutoff round to the small blind. King 3 of hearts. That's a fold. Tim Adams in the big blind has ace deuce. And he will pass, so heads up to the flop. Beresford versus Vogelsang. What's this, round 3 or round 4? Flop better. Top 2. Vogelsang with a 4 high flush draw.
Whilst this is a hand that Connor obviously would like to get a little bit of protection, particularly against this hand, I think it's a board we're going to see him check a lot. Maybe not with this exact hand, though. He's going to check. This is a board that should smash Christoph's range. Expect him to have a lot of broadways, a lot of suited ace-x hands. With this hand, I wouldn't be surprised if we see him start bluffing.
And bear in mind that Connor has a hand, as you said, Finton, he will want to protect. Is he likely to check raise this flop?
I think he'll probably just call. Against the smaller size, and he might raise sometimes, but I still think he's probably just going to call most of the time.
So Vogelsang bet 60,000 into 205,000. And just a call from Beresford. And the 7 of hearts on the turn.
Christoph can put a lot of pressure on Connor here with a bet of maybe around 240, 250k. Gets to leverage his whole stack. We can see that Connor has a hand that he won't fold. But if he had a hand like ace-jack of clubs, pocket tens without a diamond, these hands might just become auto folds on the turn. And it looks like Christoph is going to line it up. And if he bets twice, I think it's a very likelihood that we see him bet 3 times.
175k, leaving himself 525,000 behind.
We know Connor is never folding with top 2 pair. The question is whether he wants to now go all in on the turn to protect his hand. I think a lot of the time we're going to see him just call. Of course, there is a lot of bad river cards, but he's going to be aware that Christoph can blast it off with hands just like this. Connor is just thinking in his head, no 10, no king, no diamond, and he'll have a pretty easy call on the river versus the all-in.
Well, that is the brickiest of bricks, the deuce of clubs. Checks a 3rd time. Does Vogelsang go for it?
I mean, I think he has to, because Connor can just have hands like King Jack with the King of Diamonds, or even the pocket tens with 2 diamonds that are going to call twice versus that size, but often will find folds on the river. I think he's going to shove, and I think Connor's going to call.
He's left himself 1 chip behind. It's not quite an all-in.
Listen, this is not a fun spot for Connor. Yes, he's got top 2 pair, but his opponent, like I said, is going to do so well on this board. He's going to have all the King 10 suited pre-flop. He's going to have a lot of flopped nut flushes. He might have pocket 9s, even occasionally have pocket jacks. Very unlikely with Connor's hand. It's not a fun spot, but I do think Connor's going to call.
5.
He will have a lot more history playing against Kristoff than I know about him, though. Don't like when he looks back at his cards.
He calls
Cool.
and wins a huge pot against Christoph Vogelsang, leaving Vogelsang with just one chip, just 5k, 1/3 of a small blind, and Conor Beresford is now playing a stack of 2.5 million, more than 80 bigs. He's the table chip leader. Vogelsang
I hope that made a cut.
running on vapor. 0 big blind.
What do you think?
Well, he's still in the tournament, isn't he? He has a chance. Joe
Precisely.
Stapleton, back in the day, was it 2014? The chip in the chair?
Well, he moves all in for his last 5k. There's the reshove from Massimo.
7 fold.
And looks like everyone else has folded. So Vogelsang does have an overcard to the jacks. As things stand, there is a 72% chance that we lose Christoph Vogelsang in this hand. 8-7-7 with 2 clubs. Vogelsang's immediate outs are the 3 aces in the deck. Could see a sweat card on the turn, though. It's a club. Vogelsang now with 10 outs. Looking for
a straight flush, right?
ace or a club.
I don't have the set of that.
9 o'clock. The 9 is not good anymore.
The river is the queen of diamonds, and Christoph Vogelsang is KO'd.
Playing with you.
Cashes for just over 32k. Well, we're going to head to the outer tables. It's a hand between Wei Huang and Malika Rizavi. We pick up the action on the turn. Rizavi has just bet 500k on the turn, so you can tell, Finton, this is a pretty big hand, a significant pot. That board, by the way, in case you missed it, was ace, queen, 5-4, ace of diamonds, queen of hearts, 5 of hearts, 4 of hearts. Facing the bet of $500,000, Huang's just played a time bank card. Huang announces all in. Presented with the triangle. Decision now back on Rizavi. And I think Huang's got her covered, so it's all in to call.
Cool.
She
All in
does
to
call. Well, she tables 7-6 of hearts for a flush and a straight flush draw. Jack 10 of hearts for Huang. He had the bigger flush. She did not improve on the river, and she is out. Malika Rizavi eliminated. Flush over flush sickness. That's going to take us down to the final 16, Finton. That's going to take us to the redraw. And just to put things into perspective, Wei Huang started the day with 130k. He now has 5.2 million. Meanwhile, at what was our feature table, Conor Beresford has a stack of close to 2.4 million. Timothy Adams sitting on nearly 1.8 million. I say was because we're going to have a new lineup, a new feature table when we come back from the break, when we come back after the redraw. Down to 16, that means 2 tables of 8, 1 up on the main stage and 1 out on the floor, as we continue to play down to the final table on the penultimate day of the main event at the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT.